So we're in a remarkable moment. We're experiencing drought conditions throughout the vast majority of state. Today, we are advancing a drought emergency declaration in 2 counties in the state. We have the ability to flex up in real time based upon an iterative mindset and a focus to deal with changing conditions as they take shape. We'll be advancing an executive order today around drought preparation, and we will be declaring in a targeted manner a drought emergency here in Mendocino County and in Sonoma counties. I'm standing currently 40 feet underwater, or should be standing 40 feet underwater, save for this rather historic moment, certainly historic for this particular lake, Mendocino, which is at 43% of its capacity.
So there's really 2 things to remember when we head into a statewide drought. One that's been touched upon already is the variability in our hydrologic conditions. So here we are in Mendocino and Sonoma counties where things are very, very acute. If you're in a different part of the state, you probably need to know that this will one day happen to you. So that's to the point of we're all Californians here, and we all need to be doing our part when we have such widespread conditions. The second point is that water that is managed primarily at the local level in California, it means that different parts of the state have different reliable water supplies. Some of them have very diverse water supply portfolios, which include water from the State Water Project. It includes managing their groundwater basins. It includes extensive recycled water kinds of programs. We also have parts of the state that are now desalinating water. So what tends to happen in a drought when we're looking at drought conditions statewide, it also gets combined with local water supply conditions. And so what we're experiencing here in California now is a statewide low snowpack in the Sierra Nevada. So just a couple weeks ago, we were, I think, at about 73%. We are now at about 30% on average. There are some parts in the southern Sierra that are at 16% of average snowpack. What's happening there is we have these warming temperatures that are accelerating the release of water from the Sierra Nevada, and it's going into the very dry, thirsty ground. All of those things are setting up, I think, difficult conditions if we find ourselves heading into a 3rd dry year in California. In particular, the Feather Watershed, which is where the State Water Project operates, we are now operating that facility to maintain salinity, clean water conditions in the California Bay Delta so that that water is not fouled, and even our low allocation of water supply is of high enough quality to help support the 27 million Californians that rely on it. But again, what we want to make sure everyone is doing in California is keep conserving. If you're in an urban area and you've got a lot of investments in local supplies, we want you to be resilient in a long-term way in terms of drought. And part of that resiliency is using less water. If you are in the Central Valley and you are part of our vibrant agricultural industry here in California, one of the things that we're doing is we're moving water to where it's needed. So as I mentioned, we do have different hydrologies happening in the state. So we have some areas that can transfer water to where it's most needed. And we are using the California Aqueduct to access our groundwater storage to get that water where it's needed. So maybe I'll close with saying we are all in this together. There's no way around it. And part of what is important about today is getting a jump on all the longer-term lessons we learned in the previous drought so that we're ready heading into next year should we have drought conditions persist.
Logo, Department of Water Resources, State of California.